I'm going to share with you some tips for making observations. First, you should find something you can observe. It could be a piece of nature, like a leaf, or it could be anything at all you find interesting, even something made by humans. I'm going to use this feather that I found here on the ground. Step 1 is to make observations. You're going to say, I notice, and then say something you can observe using your senses. What you can see, or feel, or smell, or hear. Don't taste anything unless you know that it's safe to eat. For example, I notice that it's lighter gray on this part, but then darker on the middle. There's kind of like a color gradient. If I said, I notice it's gross or it's awesome, that'd just be my opinion. That's not actually an observation. Or if, I saw holes in it and I said, it's been eaten by bugs, that's an inference, unless I actually see the bugs eating it right then. I noticed that this part feels really soft, whereas the part up here feels kind of stiff. Kind of smells like musty, dusty forest. It makes a louder sound than I would expect to hear from a feather. Step 2 is to ask questions. Say what you wonder. For example, I wonder why this part's more stiff and this part is more fluffy. How does it help the bird survive to have this little part that's fluffier? I wonder why these parts seem to stick together. I wonder why it makes that sound. I wonder if this is from a turkey vulture. We've seen a lot of turkey vultures around the creek. Your questions can be based on your observations, or they can just be anything you wonder at all. Step 3 is to make connections. Say what your object reminds you of. Maybe it reminds you of something you've seen before, or maybe even part of it reminds you of something you've seen before. Maybe it reminds you of an experience you've had, or something you saw on the internet or in a book. For example, this fluffy part down here kind of reminds me of the softness of a pillow. And this kind of hollow part here reminds me of a straw. Kind of the shape of the whole thing reminds me of an airplane wing. Just the feather in general, it reminds me of the turkey vultures that we've seen around the creek.